What's going on, people? Welcome back to a brand new video. Now we're gonna talk about the Delap and Jackson situation. Let me call it rather the Jackson drama. Now, yesterday we saw Liam Delap going out due to the hamstring injury, and I'm pretty sure a lot of Chelsea fans were, questioning what we were gonna do after, because we let Jackson go to Bayern Munich, and then we were relying on Delap and João Pedro. And after that injury, we were thinking, so who's going to be our second choice striker? Because McGill is not there. Denzel Washington. What's his name? Denzel Washington? I call him Denzel Washington, even though he's not black. What's his name? Yeah, the Washington guy, right? Probably 1916 year old. I don't even know. Anyway, the question is, we were thinking, are Chelsea going to buy another striker, or we're going to call Nicholas Jackson back? And then at the end of the game, we saw a bomber from Austin talking about how Chelsea are now blocking the loan move for Jackson to go to Bayern Munich. So they've revoked his medicals. So, and the window is about to close. I think it's closing tomorrow. So now I want to make a comment basing on, looking at it from the Jackson's point of view and obviously the club's point of view, because in this situation, I do blame the club. Listen, the club have done so many good things in terms of buying and selling players. But when it came to Nicholas Jackson, I was one of the critics, and I was like, why are we letting Nicholas Jackson go? Because at the end of the day, yes, you might have bought João Pedro and Liam Delap. Again, I don't see João Pedro as an out-and-out striker. I don't see him as the guy we need to rely when it comes to striking force. So, in my opinion, I thought we had two strikers, Nicholas Jackson and Liam Delap. Now, when you're buying a player like Liam Delap, right, which we just did, you're buying potential. You're not buying the likes of Isak, Haaland, Osimhen. You're buying a potential, someone you're hoping that they will turn out to be the type of striker you want, score many goals, and etc. and etc. But you don't get to let go of Nicholas Jackson and relying on Liam Delap. Now, I'm not even talking from an injury perspective or injury point of view. I'm talking about from the quality point of view. You don't know how many goals he's going to score. Don't you think it's good enough, or it's a good reason to get hold of Nicholas Jackson for at least half a season? And, trying to see how he does, in terms of him being, or having a competition to Liam Delap, or even see how Liam Delap would do Chelsea, playing for Chelsea Football Club, because playing for a football team like Chelsea is different from playing for a football team like Ipswich. The competition there at Ipswich is not as compared to the competition at Chelsea. You're playing for a lesser, smaller team than Chelsea, and the expectations are going to be much, much, much higher. But Chelsea, no, they decided they wanted Nicholas Jackson gone because, they put their faith in these two people. Or basically one, because I see João Pedro as a 10, or even as a winger, or even as an 8. I don't really see him as a 9. Yeah, can he score goals being played as a 9? For sure, he can score goals. But I don't think you should go into a season with him as a 9. You need also backup for the likes of Cole Palmer. You need rotation in the wing areas. Even on the number 9, you still need more depth. And Jackson is also the kind of player you could have used even as a winger, as a false 9, second striker. You could have done that. But no. You decided to let him go to Bayern Munich, right? Now, after the injury, you decided you want to call him back. Now, if I'm Nicholas Jackson or his agent has been posting on social media talking about how we're not going back to England, and I don't blame them, because Nicholas Jackson didn't ask to leave Chelsea. Chelsea told him, we didn't need you no more, so we're going to let you go. They banished him from training with the first team squad. Even when we were in America, yes, of course, he was doing some fuckeries, getting suspended and red cards and shit like that. But his treatment was really different because they had an idea to sell him. This kind of reminds me of the Trevor Chalobah situation. You decided you don't want him to go to preseason in America because you want to sell him, so you banish him. And then at the end, you let him go to Crystal Palace. You decided, we do have injuries in our squad. Our squad is not good enough. We need another defender. So what do? We call our loanee from Crystal Palace, because he was actually doing well. So we called Chalobah back. This confusion keeps happening season after season after season. So for me, like I said, I do not blame Nicholas Jackson because I'm pretty sure he wanted to be here. But Chelsea were like, nah, we want to sell you. So if he doesn't want to come back, or it's going to be hard for him because they hadn't signed the papers yet. So he's still under contract at Chelsea. So he's definitely going to come back if they don't find any other solution. Now, talking about solution, it's been reported by David Ornstein again that Chelsea are looking for a different striker in the market in case they want to let go of Nicholas Jackson on a permanent transfer to Bayern Munich, because as you know, it was a loan with no obligation to buy. There was an option, but not an obligation. So, meaning he was going to come back to Chelsea either way, or unless maybe Bayern decided to buy him. So this is a messy situation, and I don't think Chelsea needed to put themselves in this situation. Now, obviously, we didn't know that Delep was going to get injured and blah, 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 blah. No one can predict that type of future, right? No one can predict any future, brother. However, you should have always put yourself in a position where you won't have to get into these messy situations, because now the window is about to close. Yes, Jackson might come back because he has to, and also because you told him so, and also because he's still under contract at Chelsea. But if he comes back, will he be the same player? Will he be motivated enough to play for Chelsea again after what you did to him? Will he even be good enough to play for Chelsea after, thinking about transferring his life to Germany? So I don't really blame Jackson in this situation. If anything, let's just go buy another striker. But at the same time, it's like, who are we going to buy that's going to be as good enough as Jackson? Now, I'm not even saying Jackson is all that. But I'm just saying you didn't need to put yourself in this situation. But we're here now. I just wish that Jackson comes back and do what Trevor Chalobah did. He came back. He focused on his game. He prayed. He played well. Now, he's actually one of our experienced centre-backs, if not the mature centre-backs that we have at the moment, talking about him and Tosin and Cole, blah, 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 blah. So I just hope that he comes back and actually improves Chelsea wrong, like Chalobah did, because these things tend to happen with Chelsea. We're always doing some fuckeries. Don't get me wrong. We do some nice things too, but I personally wanted Jackson to be given another season, or at least half a season. Maybe sell him in January or something, or try to loan him in January. But I wanted to see what he would do with him having competition alongside Liam Delap. I wanted to see him because I felt like for 2 seasons he's been at Chelsea, if not 3. He has never had that competition, because you're talking about Christopher Nkunku. He was always injured, and even when he played, he didn't really give that competition to Nicholas Jackson. So I really wanted to see how he does, having Liam Delap on the side. But Chelsea have made it clear they don't want it. So if he comes back, my wish is that he comes back and he just focuses on the positives and just kind of prove us wrong. Or the board rather, because I don't think the fans had anything to do with this shit. But yeah, man, it's not a good thing. But we're here now. So what are you gonna do? I just wish Jackson the best, man. Come back and prove this board wrong, like what Trevor Chalobah did, and then we can move on from there. Peace.